Spartans! What is your profession? This is Sparta!
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another episode of the Spartan Thing at Grooming Reviews 101. If you can hear me nice and clear, hit the 1 button. And if you haven't yet, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And let's get into it. First of all, how is everybody doing this night? Hope we're doing well, and we're gonna rock and roll. So, you read the title right? We are talking about never giving up on yourself. That is very important because life will hit roadblocks. Life will give you obstacles, and you need to not give up on yourself. You need to push forward as always. I always say, you know my saying, I've been saying it for a long time, I'm going to say it again. Once in lifetime, or maybe multiple times in lifetime, you're going to be at the top of the mountain. But you're going to fall off the mountain. But we don't fall backwards, we fall forward. Because as we're falling forward, we see our mistakes. As you're falling down, you're going to land on your back and you're going to go back up the mountain. But this time, you're going to learn from your mistakes. That is the biggest thing. Keep that in mind. Never, ever think you can't do it. If your mind is set to it, you definitely can do it. I know that's a cliche and everybody says it, but we need to support each other. And that's where I'm going to open up with. You need to have a good support group. Meaning, I have a few people. I'm going to mention some people off the bat right now who are friends of the show, who come on sometimes. CQ, King, Paul, they're my support group. Black David, when he doesn't fall asleep, is our support group. These people are always going to have my back. It doesn't matter if it's good days or bad days. They know my dream of the channel. They know the dream of what I'm trying to build here. They're supporting me. They're pushing me forward. They will always have my back. No matter what the situation is, they always will be there for me. So knowing that, my dream can come true easier. My goal can happen a lot easier. It just takes time. And that's where time is hard to be patient at times. I am the worst person to say, oh man, only if this and that. Time is something patience, I don't have that much. I'm not gonna be lying to you guys. I'll be very honest. It's something that I've been working on lately. The last couple of years, actually, to be honest with you guys, and I will continue and continue working on it. It's something that I need to work better on, and it just takes time. And the time sometimes it's not there, unfortunately. What do I mean by that? As much as I want to sit here and tell you, do this, do that, be patient. But sometimes we run out of patience very easily. And that's where my support group checks me in place and says, listen, dude, you got this. Just give it time. And that is a very important thing. Always have a good support group, no matter what. If you don't have the support group, your dream cannot come true. My dream will come true. As you guys see in the prescription, every day the numbers go up. I gotta give credit who gave me the dream, who gave me the idea. The king gave me the dream, he gave me the idea. Because he done it himself. And he's building it bigger and better every single time he goes live. I gotta give shout out to BMU, Black Man Unfiltered. He built a network, and that's where I am hoping to get to. Not hoping, let me rephrase that. We will get there. I can't do it without you guys. You guys hit the like and share and subscribe. I'm not trying to be cliche here, but it helps. Every time you guys hit the like button, it helps me. Every time you hit the share, it helps me. And I want to give you guys back whatever I can. Maybe, some information or more shows, whatever you guys want. If I can do it in my power, I will. It takes time and energy for this. So, by that said, in the comments, as we're live right now, what can I do? How can I improve this network? How can I improve the channel? How can I improve the shows? Add more shows. More shows are coming. I have one on the work right now. Me and Black David are working on it. I'll be his co-host for now, but eventually he's gonna find somebody else, and I'm gonna let them fly solo for a while. But for right now, I'll be his co-host. Twin Toucher. Anime Unleashed is gonna be called. Stay tuned. I haven't really announced the date yet because we don't have an exact date yet, but it's coming. So let's start hitting some of these questions to the guys start showing up. What motivates you and keeps you going when things get rough? And that is the question of the night. When things hit you, roadblock, boom. What can you do to keep going? Keep that goal, whatever that is. Have it posted somewhere. Have it maybe your reminders or whatever that is. Have it ready to go, because when you think you can't do it, you just look down like, I can't. I know I can. What also motivates me is I have a lot of people depending on me at all times. So those people need my support, need my help. They need me to do what I need to do because they depend on me. I'll give you the channel, for example. I'll use it as a reference for tonight. For example, if I don't correct the title tonight, I obviously never give up on yourselves. The title tonight. Then I have to create the prescription. Okay, that takes me a good hot minute. And then the thumbnail, that takes time. Then I have to post it, date it, time. They depend on me to do my part of the job. Their part is to show up, to have that great conversation we have. If I don't have that from them, meaning something is not happening, I'm doing something wrong on my side. That's why when Paul recommends a show, for example, or a title or something, I jot it down on my notepad right here. I always have my notepad ready to go for notes. I need to have it ready, rock and roll, and at all times. It has to be ready. It will be very important if I do that. If I don't, I'm gonna let them down. If I don't go live at certain days, I say I'm going live, say Thursdays, and I actually not doing Wednesdays because I just felt like it. I have to be in communication with these guys because it works. If I don't, and that's where I hit roadblocks, setbacks, and failures. So that is a double question because you can have setbacks in your professional life at work, for example. Like let's say I'm a chef, obviously, and let's say I burn the meal. For example, shit, that's a setback. That is a fucking big problem. So how can I fix the problem? What do I have to cook right now, right immediately? And that's where I have to get my ass on gear. My second part of my job is to train these cooks to do it a certain way. I work in a nursing home, so the food has to be diced a certain way. I have to make the puree a certain way. They can't be lumpy. They can be this. They can be that. They can be no salt, no this and that. So, but I saying all that, I have to do my part of my job. So, if I don't do my part of my job, I am failing dramatically. So, I have to make sure I don't have setbacks and keep it on point every single time. That is so important. Okay, can you recall when it give you a time when? Okay, a time that I had a big setback that I pushed through. We don't have setbacks. In my line of work, if there is a setback, when I'm walking through those doors, I'm usually right behind the 8 ball. That's the name of the game sometimes in kitchens. So I have to go in there, run hole, gun hole, going. Give a great example. Oh, hang on 1 second. Let me find out what's going on here. So guys, do me a favor. If the audio and my mouth are not matching up, please let me know so I can fix the problem. This is where I'm getting feedback from through a text. So, by that said, setbacks happen. I'll give you the gym, for example. I've been struggling my way off and on, and the show is coming back. Don't worry. Me and Nick need to get out on the same schedule. Schedule's been acting up. That's why we haven't done the show. But as I was saying, to setbacks, like example, I failed on my diet. I didn't go work out today. Okay, these things happen in life. It doesn't stop me. I'll keep pushing forward and doing whatever I need to do to get to that point. When I quit smoking, that was an issue. I failed so many times. And I be honest with you guys, I push forward and I keep getting back. Every time I relapse, I wanted to quit. Every time I relapse, I wanted to quit. Over and over and over until I exceed my goal. So, hang on 1 second. More to do. Okay. Mindset overcomes obstacles. Your mindset has to be there, unfortunately. If your mindset is not there, thinking like, hey, I can do this, you have to push forward. And you need to overcome that part. You can't sit back and say, I can't do it today. If you do that, it doesn't do anything for you. You're just acting excuses. You're just making excuses, not acting. Boing. But if you keep pushed forward and harder and harder and harder, you will get somewhere in life. Excuses is the biggest bullshit in my life. Saying I can't do this, I don't want to do this, or don't want to do that, this and that. And that's where I hate when I hear people do that. Why? Why make excuses? Why do this? Why? It's something you need to overcome yourself and figure that out. It's not if, it's when. When are you ready to make the change? When are you ready to take the opportunity to the next level? When? That is the question of the day. And sometimes it takes some time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's not overnight. Nothing like that. It's going to be time and energy. And it's up to you. But yeah, you need to. You need to figure this out on your own sometimes. Have your mindset to that point. Simple. And when the time comes, you're going to figure that out. Slowly and easy. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to drop the link for you guys. Duh. Let me... There we go. And alright guys, if you guys want to join the conversation, please come up. As always, I just need to see your cameras on in the background. Mics up. Cameras up. If you want to turn camera off after I know who you are, you're good with that. So let's get in. Have you guys come in, enjoy the conversation. Come on. So, as I was saying, mindset. Mindset is very, very important. It has to be right there at all times. I'm not saying you're going to have bad days. You're going to have that. That's where sport group gets your mind back on right. It has to be get your head on right. Because if they don't help you, that is the problem. And that is a big problem because, you know, they will... Now I would say, you know... How's the word I'm looking for? They don't want to be doubts there. Do you want to do what you need to do? End of story. And that's where it is. You need those guys. And that's what very important things are. And it has to be motivational at all times. Like I used to do Motivation Monday, guys. You know, we always had a good topic and stuff like that. And I love doing them. Don't get me wrong. I love doing them. And I'm not taking anything back from what I did over the times. But, end of the day, you need to motivate yourself. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Alright, let's look at motivation for a second here. Let me ask you a question for everybody. What is your biggest motivation when you work towards your goal? What is the motivation? The key word is your goal. Your goal should be motivating you. If you know you're losing 20 pounds, okay, you're seeing scale down, that's motivating you. If you're seeing your paycheck going up, that's motivating you. You're seeing you paying off your debt, that's motivating you. Buying a new house, that's motivating you. That is one. How do you keep going when you feel like giving up? You don't give up. Giving up is not an option. Should never be an option. The only time giving up should be an option is when you're in the grave. That's the only time. You should never, never, never give up. Giving up should be always not even a thought. Don't even think about it. Get that shit out of your fucking head right away. Let's see what else we have here. What kind of habits do you do in the morning? So I watched this video way back. I can't remember the guy's name. It was a general. So his boot camp sergeant used to say to him, "Make your bed." And when I heard that, like, what the fuck is he talking about? Make your bed. So the first thing you do in the morning is make your bed. That's the first task. The second task is brush your teeth. Done. Wash your face. Done. Then then make your breakfast. Done. Coffee. Done. Those are the tasks. Keeps you going. Routine, in other words. Those routines to keep you motivated. You know what you need to do. That's one thing about almost everybody who's very successful. They have a task. They have a routine, and they accomplish that every single day. It sounds like very repetitive, and it can be, but that's what keep you in check. What inspires you mostly? I mentioned something already. Is losing weight or getting more, seeing definition in your muscles, paychecks going up, buying a house, buying a new car. Those are what defines you, who you are. But define you who you are, meaning those habits make you better, change you. How do you overcome self-doubt in your journey towards motivation? That is on to you, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, how are we making you better? Simple. How are we making you better? We're not. Keyword, we are not. We are just repeating history over and over. If you think you're doubting yourself, you shouldn't. You should push forward. So in other words, getting up on yourself, it's a simple phrase, but it's a pack with meaning. Like having a way of testing yourself. Whenever things get rough, challenge you, setbacks, or moments of doubt, we all face in times when giving up. Like easy opponents, knockouts, late bills, whatever. But in those moments, you need to choose to keep going in what spares successful from failure. That's the difference. Successful, failure. They're not in the middle. They're separate. There's no meaning. No, I came halfway. No, there's one way. Success or failure. We don't fail. We only succeed and moving up forward. Each of us has unique in qualities, and that makes our journey special. Filling it with twists and turns. There will be daily when it feels like the world is against you, and that happens all the time. You're gonna feel the world is always against you. They don't believe in your dream. It's not good enough. Whatever the case is, fuck that. I say that. When you question yourself or your abilities and wonder if you're doing the right thing, the right path. Keyword, question yourself. I learned something a long time ago. If you question yourself, am I doing this right? Or am I being a good father? Or am I being a good husband, a good boyfriend, a good person, whatever? That's how I know you're doing the right thing. When you have to question yourself, you should have never questioned yourself. You know you're doing it right at all times like that. What was that like? What's that place? One of those thing I have up here. But it's during those times that you push no matter what. You must remember failure in this nation. Failure is just a word that does not even commute or even work in your mindset. It's a path of progress. Keyword, path of progress. That progress has to make you better at all times. Every single time. Not once, not twice, all the time. So, are you ready for that? Simple question. Are you ready for that? And you need to ask you that question. Are you ready to go through challenges, the ups, the downs? Simple. We gotta leave myself up. Think of people as pawns, athletes, artists, individuals. You don't exceed greatness overnight, and that is so fucking true. You do not ever see this overnight. It takes time and energy to get what you need out of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Time will show. That's what time. I cannot. There goes my dog. You have to understand time is everything. I know it's hard to sit there and say that, but just watch. Okay, I'll give you a good example. When a couple years back in early 2020s, no, 2010, I want to say, I bought a vehicle. That was my first vehicle. I bought it from a dealership in a long time. That was a piece of shit, to be honest with you guys. It was a lemon. I bought my second vehicle. My third one. My third one is a big upgrade since I got my first car. That very first car I drove off. Paid $500 for that piece of shit. But that was my piece of shit, so, I was proud of that. But I'm even prouder now what I got. The facelift conquer. It will come with rejection too, failure, and hardships. But what sets them apart is the refusal to quit. Keyword: refusal to quit. We never quit. We don't give up. We don't do this because we're that good. And that's how you do not give up on yourself. They believe in pushing forward with no doubts in their mind, harder than ever. But are they ready to actually overcome that? Yes, they are. You are a captain in a way of your own ship. You can sail the ship either way you want to. As much more than you can realize. That's how life is. You can control which route you want to go. As a captain, is a fish. Every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow and get stronger. Don't let fear or failure determine your faith. That is so true in so many ways. You're gonna fall. We're gonna learn. We're gonna fall again. We're gonna learn from that. As many times you fall, you're gonna learn. I don't care how many times you need to do this. You're gonna learn every single time. How many times you have to get up. Can't even pronounce this fucking word. I don't know why I put it here. Refusal to fail is the key. It's the ability to keep moving forward when the road is rough. You're gonna have rough patches. You're gonna bumpy roads. You're gonna have all this stuff, and it's just up to you. And you need to keep pushing. And that's it. Yet keep pushing forward and don't stop. The bumpy road is gonna happen. And keep remembering, you don't have to walk the road alone. You have your support group to back you up. Even if they have to pick you up and push you towards that road. Yourself with people who uplift you and inspire you and keep others who are negative or poison, toxic to you, away from you. When you feel like giving up, they don't let you. They remind you why you're working so hard. Why put all that hard work in if you're going to give up? That's the other question. Why do that? It just... I think you need to keep that in your mind at all times. You should never, never, never give up. That should never be an option. So when life knocks you down, stand up against it. Tell them, fuck you. I got this. That's how the mentality you need to have. When the voice of doubt gets louder, and remind yourself on your worth. No matter how hard it gets, never give up on yourself. Because as loud as you keep going, long as you keep going, excuse me, I pronounced that wrong. You have the power to turn your dream into reality. Keep believing. Keep fighting. The most inspiration is keep moving forward. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. And that's so true. So I watch more of a video every so often when I feel doubt. And we all have one thing in common. The alarm clock goes off in the morning. And you hear that little voice. Hit the alarm clock, go back to sleep. Back to snooze land and, do your thing. But you're not that person. You're not going to let that happen because you're not going to give up on yourself. You're going to get up. You're going to hit a cold floor, go in, slash some cold water, the last thing you want to fucking do, and push fucking forward. Simple as that. A mentality that should echo in your head. The echo is yourself saying, you don't give up, 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 you don't give up. That's when you hear. Mine through everything hardship. Life has a way of throwing challenges out our way when we last expect it. Whether it's failure at work or a broken relationship, a setback, in a healthy mindset overcomes anything. The healthy mindset is so important. It's not even funny. If this is not in check, don't even bother. Simple as that. Where did I leave off? I always hate when I do that. There will be times when you feels like giving up is a path. But let me tell you, the easy path is not the right path. You got two roads, left or right. Easy, hard. Hard is all bumpy, up hills, down hills, swimming, whatever. Failure part is like walking across, very easy. I like the hard one. I like earning everything I get. Every single thing I love to fucking earn and push myself so far hard to the point I cannot walk. I'm okay with that. So yeah. You need to keep pushing. The truth is, every successful person has face moments of doubts. Everybody, from The Rock, from Musk, to anybody, they always have those doubts in mind. But they didn't stop. That is the difference about them and us. That's why they're so successful. Hate them or love them, that's a whole different story. It doesn't matter. It's just one of those things. They push through and prepare themselves. The noise above them challenge them. Why the noise? Those voices I just said, talking to them like, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You this and that. You're fat. You're stupid. You're ugly. You got a gray beard. Or your hair's too wavy or whatever. Those voices are not going to win. You are going to win every single time. And that's how it should be. Because they knew deep down they give up themselves. They would mean giving up on their dream, their purpose, their reality. You should never, never give up. Hey, Mariana, what's up? Don't be sorry. At least you're here. That's what matters. You're here. Anybody want to join us? The link is in the chat. Please hit the... I cannot talk tonight. Please hit the link and join us. Again, camera has to be up. I got to see in the background. And afterwards, you can turn it off. If you're camera shy, that is. So, when you choose to keep everything, it seems impossible. You're telling the world, and more important, yourself, you keep worth and fighting. You are worth of success, happiness, future, and no shortcomings will come out from quitters. We all have shortcomings, but you're not gonna quit. And that's what I'm trying to say. You will never will quit because you are the person you need to fight and fight and fight again. Simple. The dream is your dream, your journey, your whatever. I'm there to support you any way I'm at. If it is, please let me know. Whatever I can do, I'd love to see it. So, it's okay to stumble. It's okay to fall. What matters is that you get back up stronger and more determination. Resistance isn't above being invincible. You're not invincible. This shit's gonna happen. Come on, let's be honest here, guys. You're not like, steel and things are gonna bounce off. You're emotional. You can't. That's okay to be emotional and let things out. One thing I learned over the years. I'm 38 years old. Yes, I'm an old man. But more you let things bother them and keep inside, more it eats you up and eats you up and eats you up, and then you will explode. Talk to somebody. Let it out. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a great thing to do. It's a great asset. But make sure you talk to the right person. I'm not talking about a therapist. A buddy, yours, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. Somebody you trust who understands your dream. Where I leave? It's about being human. Keyword, we are human. We're not perfect. We are human in a day. So we have to make sure we understand that, because and it's still figuring things out. And that's you have to figure things out as you go. And it takes time. Whoa, look who just jumped in the stream. Let's get his butt in here. What's going on? Why can I not see you? Hang on 1 second. Give me 1 second to fix this little media problem I'm having. There we go. Trey, what's up? How
What's
you
up,
doing, man?
woman? Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you
hear me?
perfectly clear. What's going
Okay,
on, my
yeah.
man?
No, man, I heard you talking, man. I saw the topic, and I just heard you commenting on, never giving up, man. So I'm always interested in love conversations like that, man. That's my whole drive, in what I'm doing now, man, because I'm coaching football.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, that's a big part of trying to grow and develop into being the person you want to be. Is can never give up, man. You might slow down a little bit, might have to stay somewhere longer than expected, but you have to continue, man. It's just part of being a man. It is. I
So
can't see it
I'll
no other
give you
way.
the floor for a minute. Go ahead. What is when you hear never give up on yourself? What do you think? The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Say it again. What was that question?
Give you the floor for a minute. When you hear the words "I'll never give up myself," what comes to your mind? Give me something.
I mean, just whatever, wherever you are, and I'm just gonna say from age 21. I'm gonna go with 21 and do it like that because you know, as we, I guess, try to progress through our lives, we don't know all the answers, and in not knowing the answers, sometimes we get misinformation, and then getting that misinformation could put us in a bad space. Whether we give up on ourselves, whether we, you know, just not try anymore, always looking at it from a, bad perspective, like it's not going to happen, it's not going to work, you know, that can really play into your success, and it's just unfortunate that, especially today, people own, it's like when everybody gets to a place in life where they have to sort of try to figure things out. A lot of people, when they get to that space in life, they give up. They give up, they stop trying, and they start blaming and projecting others about what they didn't get from someone else when they've gotten to this point now. And instead of saying, or just owning the fact that I have to start working now, I'd rather just be comfortable and blame. So if things don't go right, it wasn't my fault, whether I tried or not. So, you
So I'll be straight with you, Trey. If I had somebody like yourself in my life when I was younger, I'd probably be in a different mindset I am now. Not gonna lie to you, but I understand that's not life. Unfortunately, shit happens.
yeah.
But as
Well,
mature I
okay.
gotten older, my mindset is so much better. And that's why when I talk to young men, young women, anybody younger, I try to give them the best advice I can, the best motivation I can. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It does. It
So,
makes perfect sense.
so goals, for example, that makes you towards motivate yourself to keep your goals motivated. How do you keep them motivated and keep your head up?
I mean, because I don't expect life to be uh cakewalk all the time. Hold on. Hold on.
Want me to switch screens because you're on the other one too? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that.
All right, hang on. Let me switch you over.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. At least you don't have the floating head anymore. That was creepy. I'm not gonna
Uh,
lie to you when you had the floating head.
okay. That's better. That should be better now. I'm
Oh yeah, a
good.
lot better. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
I mean, as far as me, I've always stayed active since I was a kid. I played
Hmm.
sports, and sports is the great equalizer because even when I was acting a fool in school, I could get on the field and forget all about me acting a fool. Even when I knew I was going to be in trouble, I could get on the basketball court and forget about it for at least a minute. So now when I'm faced with my father and my mother with the consequence, I can at least try to give some kiddish rationale on why I did it. But then as I got to be an adult, I didn't allow others' failures to become my problems.
Hmm.
I didn't. I've always, I don't know where it came from. Well, I know how, I believe, where it came, where it started. because I had a cousin that was like a year or two younger than me, and he looked up to me even though he had an older brother. And when he passed, he was 10 years old. I was like 12. And I just started understanding like, okay, I got to do things for my life. My father, I say it all the time. You heard me say it. My father was alcoholic. So he wasn't telling me to when I was at the age of transitioning to a teenager, my father was out in the streets and I used to see that and be like, that's not going to be me. So seeing it from my father, it helped me navigate people my age. It really did. It helped me. I stayed away from riffraff. I didn't belittle people. I wasn't a braggadocious. I brag now because I'm old as hell. But when I was in that time, I would listen to older people, whether if it was learning something new, I just listen. Whether you apply things to your life or not, sometimes you just have to listen in that moment. So even if I don't use it at 15, if I listen to it and got it, it might come back around at 20, 25, 30. So now I can connect those pieces together like, oh, that was the missing piece. But a lot of us just dismiss a lot of stuff and we wonder why we can't get the answer when we should have got it at 18, 19. Heed the message. But, everybody's different, man.
Absolutely, everybody's different. Everybody has different ways to keep going or grief or whatever you're dealing with at the moment, and that's where focus. How would you keep focus then? How would you recommend somebody to say focus?
Uh, you said the key word. Focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on you. Talk. I learned this is therapy, and I've never been to therapy, but speaking to strangers helps me because you don't know me. So if I say, Ruben, I have a problem, I believe a stranger would give me the best possible outcome as a solution
Thank you.
than somebody that's always around me in the BS. And I'm like, man, I want to do something different. And you up there questioning, why you want to do that? I wouldn't do that. That don't make, what I'm saying? Shooting down my only little glimmer of motivation and hope. But unfortunately, people do that. It's just unfortunate, so for me, and I don't connect to people. I like meeting you is as grown men in a space like this, having real conversations. I connect to that. Now, if grooming starts getting rogue and starts acting stupid, you know what I'm saying, about some things we talked about in your life, and you know how I feel about moms and shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now I ain't gonna be connected to you. I'm like, well, shit, he ain't trying to grow, and I disconnect from that because I don't want that to affect how I operate.
So in other words, you want to take the toxic out of your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I have to learn that through my own life experience.
So I'm gonna add a couple things to that. And I already mentioned, but I'm gonna add it again. You focus on yourself. I totally agree with that. But having a good support group, like we are on the channels. We support each other's dreams, whatever. The support group you have makes a big difference. When you have doubt in your mind, I can pick up the phone and call you. I know that. I can call Paul. I can call CQ, King, whoever. They're always gonna have my back, including you. Do you agree or disagree with what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I agree. But the fact that you can trust others to give you the best solution speaks volumes about you and where you're trying to go. That's the big thing. A lot of us don't want to admit that, sometimes we don't know or we just messed up. But the fact that you can recognize that and you've talked about some of your own experiences, how you struggled in some areas, but I've seen the growth in your personality and how you communicate just over the last 6, 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's good to do and see you're talking to people not even in your peer group, not even in what is it, millennial, Gen X. So you're talking to
I'm a
people
millennial, yeah.
Yeah, you talk to people who've already experienced being 38, 36, 35, and they are trying to settle life and they can pass that wisdom. So when you get there, you don't have to go through the BS that others before you did.
Yep. And the other thing people don't understand, when we try to tell you guys something out there, it's not because we're old and gray. Some of us with hair, some of us not hair. It's because we actually care. And we want to pass that information down so you don't have to go through life struggles. I understand when you first become an adult, you're trying to figure out where you are in life and trying to, how you right footing, should I do this or do that? And like, talking to somebody a little older does help. If you don't want to talk to somebody older, just a friend, just vent. And venting is the best medicine you can have out there. 100%, I agree on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Venting, um, finding what I used to tell students all the time, especially young people. I used to tell them write when they're angry. People, people like to write. I used to tell them to write in the moment of the pain because now you can have a different thought process. And now, so when I'm calmed down a day or two later, a couple of hours, when I go back and I start looking and reflecting on what I did, how I acted, did I lash out at people? Did I go in a little room and cry? Whatever that is, you can have that as a marker. So, okay, now, and be able to recognize triggers, grooming pissed me off. So I'm just mad. And I want, what I'm saying? So 2 days later, when I go back, why was I mad? Oh, grooming. Okay, why did grooming piss me off? Was it what he said or how he said it? So yeah, man. People, everybody's different, man. Everybody's different.
So it's funny you said that. So I have been having security cameras around the house for a very long time now because I need to keep an eye on mom and everything. So sometimes I will go back and watch, cars, just how everything goes through the day, and I get a glimpse of me how I speak to her, and that's how I learned. Okay, oh, that was kind of fucked up. At the moment, I didn't think it was fucked up because I'm mad or angry or whatever. Like, oh, yeah, I kind of went too far. And I doze my ass downstairs, my tail between my legs, my head down, like, I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Because that's one plus thing. If you can watch stuff how you act at the moment and how stupid you are, like, what, Trey, I hate your big bald head. It's too goddamn shiny. Whatever. I'm using an example, of course. And you look back and like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Hey, I can see my reflection, dude. But my point is trying to get that is, if you can turn time back and just, kind of like have a time machine, go back and watch yourself how you acted. Like, wait a minute, I don't act like that. But that is you. You don't realize it in the heat of the moment. The best thing you can do is walk away. And most of us, as men, we don't know how to walk away sometimes. We're just too heated. And like, because as men, we're never in a fucking wrong. We're tough men. No, that is bullshit. Men can be wrong. And it's okay to be wrong.
I mean, you're right, man. I mean, it's okay. And that's the thing. When you can admit that you're wrong, when you can admit that you made mistakes and that you don't have all the answers, that's always the greatest time to grow and learn something new. But again,
we talked about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if I could get, I just use my anecdotal experience right now as coaching, 7th and 8th graders. My approach is always encouraging them to be better despite making mistakes. Other coaches' approaches is, you ain't do this. Why you scared? You ain't do that. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? And it takes the spirit and the morale from somebody who's in a position to learn. My job is to teach how to play the game, not, oh man, what's wrong? You ain't gonna, that beats players up and it's starting to show. It's starting to show. And, players are getting discouraged, players are getting injured, because they listening to the voice tell them that you ain't good enough, basically.
So, do you remember the movie Remember the Titans, any chance? So if you remember the head coach, he used to belittle his players. And like, you get off my fucking field and like slap him over the head or whatever the case is. And the old head coach used to go up and like, yo, don't, you're good, man. You usually give them a pep talk and they're back on it. And that's the thing. And like belittling them, like my instructor, my sensei never belittled me. He goes, why didn't you throw that fucking roundhouse like that? Or why didn't you do that? And I'm like, he never did that to me. He was like, yo, what do we learn today? And me being as smart as like not getting my ass kicked. He goes, well, that's one. He goes, so where do you not block? X, Y, and Z, whatever. We go over it because he always used to record all the fighting. So we go back and literally watch the record. Okay, oh, I did it. Oh, I left my guard down. And you learn. Same thing with football and all sports, but we used to talk about the fight, why we failed, why did I get there? But it was never a failure. It's a learning lesson. Failure is not, you only fail when you're on the ground. You learn by everything. Every time you put your foot out that door, one foot in front of the other, it's like learning how to walk. That's learning. Then you run and everything else. Everything, same concept. Learn it. And the only question I got for you as a coach, how do you keep your team or your players or anybody motivated or focused long term? We always think about the short term. The long term is the hard part.
One good thing about coaching grooming is, well, for me in my experience, I'm not just coaching the game. I'm coaching you outside of football. I'm coaching you because I talk to the players. I have like one-on-one conversations with players. The one that can be considered the weakest player and one that would be considered the strongest player.
Mm-hmm.
I go to all of them, and the ones who may not have the talent, but they have the desire, I'm giving them more instructions on how to do it correctly. How to do it correctly to prevent injury. See, I don't want to see a player get injured doing stuff incorrectly. So it's up to me to demonstrate. I do everything military style. That's one of the easiest way to if they taught kids military style, schools would have high performing students because one, I sort of put you right in the midst of this is an expectation up here. This is where I'm going to teach you at up here. I'm going to teach you here. And I'm keep going over it to now it becomes second nature. And then I'm going to test you. And if you don't test on it well, I'm going to bring you back and teach you more up here. So whatever pieces you missed the first time, you can reconnect to them the second time. And now going forward, you are performing at a high level. And like I said, a great group of kids, man. And, I'm asking about grades. How are you at home? Who did you stay with? Mom, dad, grandma. Let's call them. Hey, grandma, granddad, mom, listen. Your son plays sports. I need you to work with me because I want to make him be the best person he can be. Now, if he give you problems, you let me know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll take care of him out here because I'm talking to players like, listen, you can be better. You're going to be better. Continue to practice. Continue to work at it. When I came out there, they push-ups. Everybody had their butts down and sitting up. Now, everybody's straight, locked in. I'm not just because they make a mistake. I'm not saying, oh, you weak, you scared. Listen, get it next time. Is anything wrong with you? How you feel? And I sort of break the ice sometimes. Even in the midst of the battle, I might ask the kid, I'll say, look up at the stands. You see your parents up there? They'd be like, yeah. I say, wave at them. So they can know that you're in the game. Wave at them. They be looking like, Coach, for real? Yeah, wave at them. Because once you wave at them, now you know you have support. Get out there and play your best, make the play. Simple. And that's been me since I've been coaching. This year makes 50 years of coaching and playing sports. 50.
And Trey, let me ask you a question. You coach football, I assume, right?
Yeah, right now I'm coaching football. I applied for a girls basketball head coach in the high school yesterday. They said they'll let me know. I should know something by Friday. I have a good chance. Things went really well. The interview was, they went down a generic list. Wasn't even really nothing serious as far as questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully I get that because then I'm in control. It's my team, and the team is going to learn from me. Now I was just an assistant. I got there sort of late in the summer. I've only been out there about 5 weeks now. We started out 0-2. We done won 4 in a row, basically. So the team's playing well. They getting, but everybody else is saying what they're not doing. And it's showing on the eighth grade team because some of the best players are getting hurt. We've had like 5 of the best players get hurt in the last 2 games.
Damn, that sucks.
But again, that comes with me teaching proper stretching techniques. Well, not me because I'm not in charge, and none of they dismiss everything I say. Everything I try to suggest, they dismiss it. That's to let me know that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing because how could you dismiss anybody that's giving you a better way of getting the job done? But if they don't do it the way you nonchalantly explained it without demonstrating it, now they weak. Now they're losing. Now they're not trying hard enough. Now they can't do this. So who is it? Whose fault is that? The kids or mine? So,
So a good leader always takes advice from other people. That's one thing I learned over the years. Because if you're like, like the horses, what is that called when the horse put the blinders on the side? You know what I'm talking about.
yes,
You're not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah. You focused.
Yeah, and that's good to focus. But when a coach is not listening to other people, like his back assistants coaches, that is the issue. Well, I
Yes.
guess you got tired of retiring, didn't you? You're back to working, I see.
Yeah, I mean, I needed something to do, man. It didn't go as planned early in the year, so I just getting out of the house, and I know I wanted to coach. YouTube is one thing, and it's hard to move adults who are stuck in their ways. But a young kid who has a heart, who wants somebody to say you can do it, man, it gets me going, man. It gets my blood going, man. And it's crazy because all the kids have a conversation. They have no problem. The managers, they like to ride the bus with us, 2 females, young ladies. And I just let them know, man, you get to a standard, there's no turning back. There's no turning back.
And that's the problem I think we have with the generations coming up now. And you see, there is no standard. They literally walk by through life, through high school. And when they're at high school, you maybe get away to college, but when you're in a work field, there's no standards. And then we wonder as like managers or CEOs or whatever, whoever's in charge, why is it? How does this kid get through life like this? No standards or no this, no that, because you just got to slide by bye, and that is not the right way to do things either. And that is the bad way to do it. And then we always complain, well, this generation sucks. No, we suck because we didn't teach them right away. Simple. Like, I understand some kids fuck up. Okay, that's okay. That's being a kid. That's how you grow. Teach them why you fucked up, how to fix, how to be better. I don't hear that ever. And this was the question I'm going to ask you next. Name a hobby. A habit that helps every single day.
Ooh, as far as me, I can't pinpoint one thing because I've I've always, I was a middle child, so I've always had the freedom to sort of figure things out, doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
My father was really big on school and respect. Old people, I better say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. People my age, you might get a MF what the hell on. I don't have to. I garner you the respect just because, but I would never take nonsense from anybody. And once a person gives me that nonsense, I disconnect from it. I mean, I'm going to rebuttal it and combat it just to let you know, like, I'm not that one. But now I'm not connecting to you at all in any capacity. That's how I was, when I was a young teenager growing up. I never did that. And now you have to continue. let me see. Let me see. I can answer it. It doesn't matter what what I've been through. It doesn't. When I meet people in that moment. I'm no different than anybody. I've had to work for everything. You know, my parents were, I would say they love me, didn't go without. You know, everything that I look when I look back, all the stupid stuff that happened to me because of my own decision making.
Mm-hmm.
And when I made bad decisions, I didn't cry about it. I just said, man, don't do it no more. And and again, not everybody can do it. But I also, when I was coming up, just the time, me and my friends when we sit around and we just shooting the breeze or whatever and smoking our little weed and drinking our little drink, we still encouraged each other to be better, you know. And you want me to ask the question again? Because I know I forgot. I know I forgot. I know I
I
forgot.
think the a habit that helps you every day.
Oh, oh, okay,
Maybe a
okay,
focus
yeah.
or to go whatever.
So one habit I know I do, I talk to myself. I talk to myself often, and then after I talk to myself, if I am not 100% sure that that could be the truth or the right way to do something, then I go technical. I'm going to do the research to figure out what's the technical way. And even if I'm not doing it at that moment, I'm going to look for the technical way on how to do it. And YouTube has just sort of, well, for me, YouTube should have elevated everybody's learning process because now I don't have to just read words about it. I can go look at somebody demonstrating. And once I see somebody demonstrate it, then I can figure it out immediately then.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, now me being in this space, being a little older, I just learn from watching others too. Just talk to myself. And like I said, I like to coach. I'm always talking too much to young people, but at the same time, I don't get pushback where people are telling me to leave them alone. No, they like to hear more. So,
And
mm,
I'll be honest with you personally. Anytime you get ever preach, I'm all ears, man. I'm all ears because you guys have some information to give out. I'm always ears. And some of the generations now, some people don't want to hear it, unfortunately. But a habit, I have a habit myself. I'm stubborn, but in a good way. Stubborn meaning like if you tell me you can't do this. Oh, I'm gonna prove you fucking wrong. If you tell me, well, you're not gonna lose 40 pounds in a year. Oh yeah. When you put your money in your mouth is my stubbornness, not giving up is annoying at times, but that's me, and that's my habit. I'll leave there.
but, but okay, so stubbornness is not, I look at it as a characteristic,
Okay.
it's part of your character. And all, all stubborn ain't bad stubborn,
Absolutely.
So if you're using that to just be better, then great. If you're using it just to go against something and don't want to change, then it could definitely be bad. But you know, being stubborn ain't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you know you're going to uh, end up in a better space than where you are now. So,
Let me ask you this question. Life happens. Roadblocks happen. You know what I'm saying? You may get kicked in the balls or fall over. Whatever the case is. How do you, or the advice you can give out there is, how do you handle that single thing? Because life happens. Let's be honest here.
what's the question again, Grumman? I'm sorry.
Roadblocks or bumpings in the roads, anything that a hiccup that is going to happen in life. How do you handle it?
I just always believed that it's the glass is half full, though.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever adversity you may come, always believe it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, whether it benefits me in that moment or not. Because I've always, and it started when I was a kid. I don't know exactly when it started, but I used to always remember that if I can come out even, I'm winning. If I start out at zero and at the end of the day, I'm even, I'm winning. If I can start out even and I gain, I'm winning. And if I got to go back to even, I'm still winning. I'm not under. I'm always 500 or better. So I think it's just more mindset, how people own a lot of the pain on I don't own my pain. I don't. I don't have back surgery, knee surgery. I got arthritis. I got all these problems, but I fight through it.
You're falling
People would
apart,
never know,
Trey.
huh?
You're falling apart on me.
I mean, but I've had back surgery at age 25. Had knee surgery at age what in 1999. So, but I I never let it control me. I worked out. I stayed in shape. I ran, and I just didn't want to be the big guy with the big stomach. No, I was always paranoid of getting overweight. Getting fat rather. Everybody. I'm a little overweight, but I was always paranoid to get that type of body. But again, just being consistent. And my last thing is, I think just as you grow and you learn, I don't have to belittle nobody. I don't have to belittle some. I don't have to say what grooming can't do if I'm doing it. I don't have to do that, because now I'm wasting energy on you when I could be using it for something better. And now I'm subjugating you to have a bad thought about yourself. So,
Before I go to the next question, if I may ask, if you feel comfortable sharing, what happened to your back? You had to get surgery so young.
well, when I was in the service, we was doing an exercise a morning exercise, and I fell. And when I fell, initially I fell on my hip, so I couldn't walk. I went to the emergency room. They said 5 days rest, so I had to lay in bed, and I still continue to have problems in my hip, right on that bone, right on that where that femur goes, right into that pelvic pocket,
Oh,
and
the ball of the hip.
yeah, in the ball, right? But the outside part is what I fell on, but it affected the inside. So for months, I was like, man, my back, because my back, even it's like when I fell, the impact affected the ball joint. I mean, the ball socket or whatever, but it shifted my spine out of alignment. So I ended up having L5S4 because it was cutting off the circulation to my left foot. So they went in, they did the little scope. I didn't have to have no back fusion, and that alleviated the numbness, but it never got rid of the pain in my hip or my back. And then just recently over years, because I've had x-rays, acupuncture, I've been hung upside down, MRIs, I've had steroid injections 2 or 3 times, I've had spinal taps, I've had all that stuff done
You
to
sound
me.
like a goddamn lab rat now.
Yeah, yeah, but one thing that I knew that would help me continue to be normal in a sense is that I had to keep my weight down.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do that. Listen, I got to this size in the 8th grade, and that was it. I ain't gonna. I was 5'9", 175 pounds. Just built like Bam Bam on the Jetsons, and that's where I stayed at. That's where I stayed. I was palming basketballs in the 7th grade with both hands. And that was it. That's where I stayed. But then when I got injured, because I was had aspirations to go into the NFL. I did. And then in high school, I messed up my knee, man. And then my senior year, and then coming into college, they had the NFL strike. So I was like, man, let me just take my ass to school. It ain't just in the car. So but I always had this knack for teaching younger guys because I used to work out with the young kids in my neighborhood, show them how to play ball, show them how to run, kick, all of that. Because I used to do all that when I was younger, and it just stuck with me. Then when I was like, when I went to this, finally went to the service, that's when I started coaching. That's when I first started coaching in 1991, and I ain't stopped.
Honestly, I wish you were a little closer. I'll tell you why. Because I always wanted to work out with somebody like you. Because
No,
when
yeah.
I started working out, even to now, a lot of times the old timers come up to me and go, "Hey, do this instead. Pinch your shoulder, you get better at your chest, or flex your chest, or whatever the case, the little tweaks." Because I had to learn everything the hard way, and I still learn the hard way is through videos. Like trainers are expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Like 5 cents are like $500. I can't afford. That's a car payment. That's a goddamn car payment.
Yes, it is.
I am. Listen, as much I love to work with trainers, I just can't afford it. But somebody like you, who was you really don't give a shit about the money. You care about more teaching.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
I can see you just going to the gym and seeing somebody struggle, just go up and hey, dude, let me help you. You know, adjust your arms a little bit here, a little pinch here, and like, or let's go through a workout together. I'm like, oh, I feel good the next day. I can see you doing that. I can see you doing that, 100%.
And younger, it wasn't as bad. I did it. You're right. I did it when I was young. I'm always, come here, man. Let me show you how to hold the
Mm-hmm.
bar on your bench press. You know, that's what these little lines are for. You know, you adjust. You want the
Yeah.
close hand wide. You know what I'm saying? So you're right about that. But now, I don't do it because I understand the psyches of people. They like to just be in their zone and work out. But like if it was some, young people that I didn't know and I saw them over, yeah, I'm gonna go over and show them and let them know if you want to get muscles, you start at 15, 16, 17. You don't wait till you're old as shit. You do that young and just sort of work through it. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. My neck, since I was 16, I had an 18 and a half inch neck.
Jeez.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I have calves, man. My calves are big. My forearms, they done gone down, but my forearms used to be, since I was 16 years old, because we worked out. As teenagers, we used to lift weights, work out, shoot ball all the time, run every
Mm-hmm.
day in the summer, swim,
Just be the
hell,
kid.
do it all. We did it all, man.
So the question I
But,
was going to next to you is we kind of talk about it a little bit. I want to hear your point of view, and again we talked about it a little bit, but what role does a support system play?
I mean, Ruben, you talking about the fabric of transitioning from a kid to a young man or young woman. The support system is everything while you are in the grooming stage. See, the grooming, see, go with your name. When you're a kid, you know what I'm saying, you're being groomed. As you become a teenager, you're being groomed. And as you become an adult, all of the grooming that you receive should be on display as an adult. Or all the grooming you did not receive will be on display as an adult. See, so again, the support system is everything, man. One thing about my father, he knew me and him had this common ground because my father was great at football, all state scholarships, recruited. Yeah, he was the man in high school. When I went to his high school my senior year, and he was so damn humble, he never told me that. I went to the boys' locker room. They had a mural of my father from the floor, and they had tall ceilings. I'm talking about 12-foot ceiling. The damn floor to the ceiling, and it curved over the ceiling. That's how big they put this damn thing in the locker room.
Jesus Christ.
My father never told me about that. And the school was in walking distance from my home, and they recruited me. They gave me a Leatherman's jacket in the 7th grade to come and play football at high school. But I
That's pretty
wanted to
cool.
go with my friends. And my father didn't press the issue because my father wasn't really focused on me. He was doing what he was doing, when he drank and be out in the streets. And I didn't want to break my mama's heart. I didn't run and tell my mama what my father was doing. I just used to see him out there be like, hold up, give me some money, be quiet, You know what I'm saying? I used to hold it against him like, dude, you going to give me $15, $20. And he would do it. And then I wouldn't say nothing. And then as I got to be a teenager, I'm no lie. I was coming in the house at 5 and 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on Fridays, on Saturday mornings. And I sometimes my father would be going to work, we'll be passing each other. Where you been? That's all he would say. Where you been? Oh, I was around the corner. Doing too much with my little high school girlfriend. We was doing way too much. But again, it, it depends on where everybody's different. You know, everybody's different. But I think the worst thing I could do is deny my support system. You know, the worst thing a kid, anybody can do is not take heed to some things people say. Even I can learn from a crackhead. If a crackhead was talking to me and was like, "Hey man, you should do this and do that and do that," I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it because he may know the true answer to help me. He just got caught up in what he was doing, and that doesn't mean that he can't help somebody else be successful because they're gonna, you know, even my father's own pain, he still taught me to work hard, respect people. He taught me that. He taught me to, just be a stand-up guy. Now, did he teach me about women? Hell no. No. He didn't teach me nothing about women. But at the same time, well, how could he teach me about women when he's out there doing the damn bullshit in the streets? You know what I'm saying? So, but I learned from watching them like, I don't want to be like that. And we had a great relationship. It's just that as I got older, like, and I didn't even have a drink with my father till I was like 34, 35. We finally had a beer together. You know, I wasn't going to cross that line because I saw how he struggled. I'm like, why would I want to go get alcohol with an alcoholic? You know what I'm saying? So,
And that's a good point. Like my father was like he was an alcoholic, obviously, but when I turned 21, he couldn't wait to sit down at a bar and have a beer with me. That's one thing he was dying to, and I remember that like every time we had a beer, like he was so happy just sit down and just chill and have a beer,
yeah,
not even talk, just watch a game. He really wasn't ever in sport, but just have a cold one with him. He loved that.
yeah. Because he,
And we
yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, you're right. You're right, man. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, you wish I was around. But group, here's the thing. If I was around and how you've explained how you used to be overreactive with your parents and stuff,
Hmm.
I would have shut that shit down, man. Because I didn't play that. I didn't. I didn't play that. I was like, man, I'd be like, man, fuck talking to your mama like that, boy. You'd have to fix that shit quick, or we would
See,
not
I
been
always
hanging around
thought
each
it
other.
was out of love, trying to help him. Like, quit smoking. I used to yell, like, why you put that shit in your fucking mouth? Get that shit out of here. And like, she's smoking in the house. It pissed me off even more. Like, get the shit out of my fucking house. I went to her. You're not smoking that. Well, I'm not. I don't hear excuses outside. Like, but I thought I was doing it out of love. But I realized, as much as I was doing it out of love, my approach was wrong.
Yeah,
As I got older and grayer, not a word out of you about the gray hairs, but I realized, like, oh, I was a fucking dick.
yeah.
Shit.
But again, the good thing about what you just said is you recognized it.
Oh, absolutely.
And once you recognize it, now the things that you were missing and those blessings that you were denying to yourself can now start coming to you. You know what I'm saying? You can receive them now because you're not projecting, you're just trying to, and parents are stubborn because my mother had high blood pressure, but she wanted to eat pork. No, you ain't eating no pork. Go over and cry, mama. Go cry. You know what I'm saying? She lied and said the doctor said she can have pork one day. Mama, come on. Your blood pressure been 140 over 100 for 10 years. What are you talking about? But again, you know what I'm saying? It just comes with stages, man. Life comes with stages. I just took advantage of opportunity when it presented itself. I didn't let other people tell me what I should and should not do. Even to this day, I don't move that way. I can't function like that.
Again, I did it out of love. Like, I remember when she came back from her first colon cancer surgery. She's home. So I got rid of all the cigarettes, I got rid of all the vapes and everything in the house. So she had a hidden stash I didn't know about. So I'm at the store, like I had the camera on the whole time, and she didn't realize I put cameras up yet. And I see her like looking around. If I'm coming around a corner, she looks at the dog. Alex goes, "Shh, Malaka, don't say anything to your father." Me light the cigarette. I go. I looked. I talked her through the mic. I like put the cigarette out. She couldn't hear it because the TV was so loud.
Hmm.
So I in the corner, like, what are you doing? Like, nothing, just hanging out with Alex. He goes, like, so you gonna tell me with a cigarette in your hand? And he goes, I have no cigarette, Ma. I'm looking right at you with the camera. What fucking camera? She goes, she was so pissed when I put the cameras up. So then when we moved out of our house and into our apartments, she thought she got, thank God I don't have to deal with the cameras anymore. I let her go for a while, but when Cantor came around knocking, I go, cameras going back up. And she goes, I thought I got rid of these fucking things. I hate this fucking thing. She was so fucking pissed.
Hmm.
But it's for her own good, obviously.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, the next question now is, obviously we got negativity, feedback, all that stuff. How do you stay motivated when people are negative to you and saying, listen, you know what, you suck as a coach? Example, of course. I don't think you are. But, you're going to get negative feedback. How do you stay positive? How do you teach these young men and women to stay positive with all the negative in our lives?
Okay, group. We ain't gonna use coaching as an example because, and when I say this, I'm saying this based off my experience and what I've been told by several players from different teams that
Mm-hmm.
you know, coaching is what I can do. But when people are negative towards me, like I said, I may or may not address it because you may or may not be directly talking to me. See, if you talking outside of me, but you're talking about me,
Mm-hmm.
I may act like I never heard it. But every time you see me, I'm going to move in a certain way. Every time. Every time you see me, I'm going to amp it up 10 knots, 20 knots on what I do. You're going to be sitting over in your feelings because you're going to be like, dang, how does he get the results from these people that I don't get? I've been told by coworkers that that style doesn't work. You're not me. You can't do it. And then after they watch, oh man, why do they always come and talk to you? Why do they sit around you and you just be talking to them? Because I'm not telling them what they should be doing. I'm telling them what they can do. I'm not telling them that they always doing something stupid. No, we all did something stupid. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to be better? Now I'm going to give you 3 or 4 possible solutions, but it's up to you to put in the work. And once I show you where you can improve, then every time I talk to you, we talking about, are you improving? Yeah. Okay, let's go to the source. Okay, last quarter you had 3 Ds. How many Ds you got? Oh, I got my Ds up. I got Bs now. Cool. Now you can't go back to being a D.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I checked, you had 10 absences. How many you got? Oh, I ain't missed a day. Good. Now you come every day. Last time I was getting mad. I was getting mad every time I said, "Are you getting mad?" No, I haven't had an argument in a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Great. Stay there. And when you feel like you need to argue, come argue with me. I just try to tap in and meet people where they are. Because if I can meet you where you are, I don't have to put myself above you to help you. I want to be right there. So when you start falling, I'm gonna look at you like, uh-uh, you fight through that. You don't quit. Let's
You
go.
know, it's funny you say that because when I was doing full time martial arts, and the kids used to joke around. I was like the meanest teacher there, but they used to love me. So when I talked to them, I didn't talk to them like I'm standing up and looking straight down to them. I used to get on my knees and have the eye contact. I get to their level, and they loved that,
Yeah.
and they listen more. Versus, obviously looking up towards me and like it's not gonna work out like that. But when you get into that level, I think the respect factor comes happen. That's how I think. Listen, they don't realize. They might not realize it, but conscious. That's what happens. Again, I might be wrong. I might be talking shit out of my ass. That's how I
No,
feel. At least.
you're not wrong. You're not
It's
wrong.
23 hours.
You're not wrong in that aspect because if you're teaching me and you always speaking down to me, I'm only going to hear the negative of you speaking to me. I'm not going to hear the positive. But if you come down to me, and even coming down, I may have to just speak in the language that you can understand. And I always have to represent myself, well, present myself as being calm when I could be burning up on the inside, like I can't believe. But when I'm trying to let you see where you make your have your fault, or where you may have not gotten the full information, I have to come down so you can see me and let you know how serious I am about just being a better. Last example, had a kid last week, black kid, he lived with his mom because I always ask who you stay with because I like to know how to approach. First year playing football, he has the ability, he just doesn't put forth the effort. So last week, we went in the game, he's playing good. He comes off the game, out of the field. I'm like, and I always go up to players, how you feel? What's going on? He just started crying. I'm like, what's wrong? No, talk to me. Look at me. Of course, little kids, they give that little look. I said, what's going on? You said, I ain't doing good. And then this is when I curse at kids. Man, let me tell your ass something, boy. You doing real good. That's why we winning. Did your man make the tackle? Because he's a blind and he blocks. Didn't know. Well, you doing good. Your man didn't make the tackle. That's good. Your job is to do your one man battle. Make sure you win that. If your man never makes the tackle, you're doing good. And he looked at me different, like, huh? I'm like, yeah, that's what football is. It's 11 battles going on at the same time. You win your battle, then you good. And from that point on, he's been doing great. He's every time I talk to him and see him, he's in a good mood. And when he comes out the game, he's like, in a good mood. And to me, that pays dividends because what I see on this coaching field that I see is some of the worst coaching ever in my whole time ever coaching. Is the worst.
Really that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. It's that bad because even when we winning, the coaches are just yelling at the kids, telling them what they ain't doing. Stop being scared. How in the hell you gonna tell a player stop being scared? It makes no sense. I ain't doing no coaching if I can tell a player stop being scared. Then the head coach gonna tell everybody that don't listen to no other coaches, listen to him. Man, shut the fuck up. That's what I was like, man. So today, I didn't talk. I don't even really talk to him no more. None of the coaches really, because none of them really know what they're doing. I just talk to the kids. My focus be on the kids, and the kids, they high fiving me, they clapping. You know what I'm saying? They asking me questions, and when you in the game, you got 42 people yelling at you on what you should. It takes away motivation. It takes away motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And that mean I didn't do nothing all week in practice. If I got to yell at you at the game, I didn't coach you in practice. But I don't know.
It's funny you say about coaching. I want to use this as an example. When I moved out of New York to PA, I played football like most kids do, right? So I tried for the school. They told me I was too violent for this game. And I'm like, how the fuck is possible? All right, whatever. I didn't make the team. Whatever. First time my high school career, I couldn't make a team. Like because I was tackling people too hard. They won only 2 games the whole season. That's how bad the coaching was.
Yeah.
So it tells me they're like, I was too violent, or you were too much chicken shit to get a real player on here. And that's all I'm saying. So if you're ever watching this, Matt Pocono was coach high school. Like, sucks being you now, isn't it? But what the follow up question I have for you, because you kind of touched base a little bit. Common reason people give up and how to overcome that.
Yeah. I mean, again, I didn't have the best high school experience as far as sports, as far as winning is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I came out of, the Pop Warner League, won a championship, scored the only touchdown. middle school ball, leading scorer on the team, all that good stuff. But when I got to high school, again, I went to the wrong high school. Just had the worst coaches ever. But I've always believed that I can compete against, people my age. I step outside of, the coaches and just look at it like, how can I compete against people my age? And I always told myself, just like, ain't nobody better than me. Even though guys would be, have greater success, but I still didn't believe nobody was better than me. And when I got a chance to compete against them, they made sure they spoke to me after the game because I always competed, whether I won or lost. Losing is part of life, especially in
Of course.
sports. It's part of it, and I didn't have to be mad because I lost because you got me today, but I'm going back to practice and I'm going to be ready next time. So, yeah.
Before we get into the next question, Mariana's comment was self talk is the best way to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
You got anything to say about that, Trey?
No, remember I said I talk to myself. I talk to myself. It's simple. Like I can do it. I look at the glasses half full, not half empty. So
So, do
yeah,
you think your mental health has a lot to do with how it keeps you motivated and keep going every day?
yeah. Mental health. I've always believed, man. I don't, I can't even go back and say when these things came to me, but I remember always saying that I'm stronger than anything. My mind is stronger than anything. That's why I was like, I ain't gonna get hooked on drugs. I ain't gonna do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind is stronger than anything. And I've always believed that, and even if I did something I knew I shouldn't have been doing, I wasn't gonna just keep doing it just to, say I can do it. No, that shit didn't go right. I tried to smoke a cigarette when I was 8, turned green, never smoked a cigarette again. I tried to smoke a cigar when I was about 15, again, turned green, never hit a cigar since. Never even looked at a cigar. Like, I don't care what you're talking about and what flavor, brand. No, I don't want none of it. Even alcohol, I couldn't. I could my. You know how alcohol sort of had that burning sensation when you first drank it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't force that shit down my throat. I've been drunk a few times, but I like to mix frozen daiquiri drinks. I'm gonna drink
Yeah.
those. I don't give a damn what they talk about. I ain't taking no shots. I ain't drinking none of that. I'm gonna drink me a nice old fruity drink all day, and I know
And
my
there's nothing
limit.
wrong with that. There's nothing
But I
wrong with
know
that.
my limit. 2 or 3 beers, I'm straight.
And that's good because most people go over their limits. That's the problem. And they go too far, and that's where stupid decisions happen.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I had my own experience, man. I appreciate my father for teaching me, what not to do in his misery, because I saw how it affected him. But he worked every day. He retired at age 60, worked 35 years at the same job. Even invented a machine at Louisville Slugger Museum. So,
Nice.
but he ain't tell me none of that shit. I found all that shit out after he retired. I mean, hold up, man. You supposed to been telling me this stuff when I was 15, 16 years old. You know. But
So
again,
here's
he
one of the
struggled with
questions I
his
was going to
addiction.
ask you actually, because thank you for bringing this up about your father and everything. You had to overcome challenges in life. How did that shape you to the person you are today?
I mean, it's always going to go back to the respect thing. I'm just going to grant respect for people, places, and things. That's it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like a noun. I'm gonna respect it. If I go to another country, another state, another neighborhood, I'm gonna respect what they got going on. I'm not gonna come in loud and boisterous and all of that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't need you to hear me, just see me, and that's it. So
In a way, I wish you were a little closer so we can like crack a cold one together and have a good conversation in person.
I
It's
mean, yeah,
such
man. I would, listen. The world is never too big for things to happen when it's time. It's
no.
never too big.
We have to get all of us together one day and like the whole group, having
Man, everybody, man, sometimes set it out about 6, 8 months in advance, man. Catch a nice little summertime where we can just, just be outside. with a grill or something, throwing some barbecue on, a couple of, just
Maybe
and
I can
do it.
convince Paul he can host at his house because he has a house and I have an apartment and we kind of crammed here. But maybe
Yeah.
we can convince Paul we go all of us go to his house, Jersey, and just all of us get together because most of us not that far out.
I mean, but even if like it can be spaces, space, man.
Hmm.
And some you can get some spaces for relatively nothing at all. And just everybody come in with their little podcast equipment, man, and just do an open dialogue round table right there, man.
Getting an internet connection, that's the part. Where it depends where it is because I know some places, but there is no service down that where I'm talking about. It's
Yeah,
in the
but
woods.
again, it's just being able to work out all the nuances with everybody's voice and
Hmm.
understanding of where they are. You know what I'm saying? Because places and things about what's going on where you at. I know where I'm at. Paul, BMU, our pain, everybody's, in those spaces, different spaces, but just to be able to come together, fellowship, share even more ideas, talk about other things outside of what we talk about normally, and just try to, improve each other's life. To me,
Yeah, I was more talking about like just to get together, just have a beer and have his not even come online, just bullshit. Just got
yeah,
the group of us just
I got
hang
that.
out, have dinner, and bullshit. Like
I got that. Yeah,
yeah, that's like we should try to figure something out like 8 months, like towards next
maybe next
summer.
summer, man, like
Yeah,
next June or July or something like that.
yeah, and like I definitely know Paul will be up for it. I know our parent will definitely, David of course. I know you'll be definitely up for it. So we gotta see if I talk to BMU see what he feels about that, and if he wants to come down towards somewhere in middle or want to come this way. We'll figure that out when we look at I'll talk to Paul and see his idea about it too. I think it'll be a great idea. So football. I know you're a big football fan, right? All right. Who's your team first of all? I need to know that.
Well, grooming, guess what? I don't really have a team. I'm I'm a coach, man. Why do I need to have a team for?
I'm talking about professional team now. I
Yeah,
ain't
that's
talking
what I'm talking
NFL.
about. A professional.
Really? You
Now I
don't care
will
about
say
it?
this: growing up, the first team I ever football team, the first football team I ever liked was the Miami Dolphins because that
Okay.
was one of the first teams I watched on TV. And then growing, as I got to my early and teenage years, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers because when I played for the Steelers for 4 years, and those were the years when Pittsburgh was winning Super Bowl. So I had a connection. And one year they won the championship, and we won the championship too, the same year. So, and then as I got older, I just was like, well, I like football. I like the teams. I like the different players. I like everybody. So I didn't, yeah, didn't far as having a favorite. I ain't had a favorite team probably about 25 years, 30 years or so.
My favorite team always has been the Jets.
The
The reason,
Jets.
yeah,
Okay.
the reason is because my mom and my parents really didn't know anything about football. That's not a thing they grew up in. They grew up on soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom's best friend, her sons were really big in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey was that number one sport they always watched. Doesn't matter what year around. They play hockey all year round. Even street hockey, they loved it to a passion. So those are the guys who got me into the Rangers, and that's why I like the Rangers because I grew up watching them. Now you telling me football was because of them? They were big Jets fans. I like the Giants too, but Jets are they're my number one. Like I love my Jets. So, what do you think about the team this year, Jets team? Do you think they have a good chance? For
Repeat that,
coaching
Gordon.
purposes, do you think as a coach, do you think the Jets have a good chance this year?
Uh, I believe they do. They just, from what I saw the other day, they were too weak. What I mean by
Really?
weak is they wasn't physical enough. They wasn't. Yeah, they just didn't look like they had enough force to be competitive. What I saw, Salah's a defensive guy, and the defense looked weak to me. They was getting pushed around. and that's not good. But I think with Aaron Rodgers, he gives them motivation, and if he can at least last the first 4 or 5 games, without injury, then I think. But again, football comes down to play calling and defense. If you can call the right play at the right time, and the players execute the play, yeah. But from what I saw, they look too soft.
Oh, I totally agree. They did better than other years in the first game. So they were at least passing the ball. They were touching downs. Other years there would probably be not even one touchdown. Be 0 to 32 or some shit like that. So my issue with football has always been one thing. I use Tom Brady for example. They had one person making the whole team. That depend on that one person, and I disagree with that. I think it should be multiple people making the team, not only one player. When you have one player, depending on everything on one player, look what happened just last year. That one player got hurt for the whole season, and there goes the season. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like Aaron Rodgers was put up here,
Yeah.
and when a player like that goes out, it takes a lot of motivation. The team has to rally together, But
And
again,
Rogers is up there in age, dude. He's not a young buck.
man, Rodgers should be retired, man. He
He's,
should have
he's in his
retired.
40s.
Yeah, he should have. This might be his last year. I think if the Jets at least go to the playoffs, get him a good run, I think this will be his last year. You know.
The coach that I always loved for the Jets was Rex Ryan. People said a lot of shit about him, but he made results happen.
Yes.
Like if you remember, they went to the playoffs. They lost in the playoffs, and I understand that. But naming another coach in your last several years who just had that made it a playoffs like that.
Shit, when the last time the Jets been to the playoffs?
When Rex Ryan was a coach.
What year was that? Like 2004 or 5, something like that?
I'll tell you. Give me 1 second. I'll look it up right now. Uh, duh, duh. It's not giving me dates when he was a coach.
Yeah, it was like at least he was. I think he was out of league at least by 2010 or something like that.
Because when he got fired from the Jets, he went to coach the Buffaloes.
Yep.
Okay, so it was 09 to 14. I didn't expect it was
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah, I
It
knew it
was
was at
less.
least 10 years or so.
It was less than that for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was like 2 3 years only.
Oh no, man, he been out of league for a while.
No, I mean when he was a coach for the Jets.
Yeah, yeah. Shit, what he been out of league since what 2014, 15, something like that.
No, after he got fired from the Jets, he went to the Bills and he coached them for a while. And that's it. What I was very surprised they got rid of when they were doing this to overhaul the team in the last couple of years. They got rid of a couple of good players like Nick Goldman. He was a good tackle guy. Like I
Yeah.
was surprised they got rid of him, and nobody else picked him up. I was very surprised on that.
I mean, yeah, NFL's funny, man. When they come in with new coaches, new management, they start to choose who they want and get rid of some players who they may believe or feel that just ain't cutting the mustard, man.
Yeah, it depends on the team too. That's when I realized, like, if you have like a big team like New York, that all the eyes are on them, they don't care how long I personally think it takes years and years to build a team, but they want results immediately. Like they want you, first year as your coach, you want the first Super Bowl. It doesn't happen like that. As much I don't like the team, New England, for example, how long when they drafted Tom Brady, everybody depended on him, but it took years and years to build like good team over years. It wasn't overnight.
Yeah.
Yes, he became one of the best quarterbacks in history. I give him that. Even I don't like the guy personally. As a player, I don't like him as a player. And people call him a goat. I don't think he's a
Why
goat.
you don't like him? Because he always beating up on the Jets.
When you deflate the balls in a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
telling
you're
me
right, man. I thought that there's was some suspect years with and the Patriots and Brady, just with the deflate gate and spy gate. How they get away with all the gates and couldn't nobody else do it? They had the
here's
spy
the other
gate
one.
and the deflate gate.
You know one thing I realized about him also, if he was losing the game, he threw a tantrum. He threw. I remember watching. Was it his last year playing? What team was he playing? I can't remember the name of it. Buccaneers, wasn't it?
Tampa Bay, yeah.
Yeah, Buccaneers. He literally was throwing the tablets across the field. I'm like, you're supposed to be a professional player. Like you have to example to his kids, but he was acting like a little baby. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. It's just part of being a competitor. Sometimes it just don't go your way and just fighting for real, man. When I was playing little league football and it didn't go my way, I used to start crying. And when I started crying, I just played better. I don't know why. I don't know why I cried, but if the shit wasn't going my way, man, I just started crying. I don't know. But again, that was when I was a little league. By the time I made it to high school, man, things were different. Things were different. I was coming through, man. A little guy like you, grooming, man, you wouldn't have a chance of tackling me, man. And
I
big
heard you.
guys, I would just run around them. But a little guy, first of all, I wouldn't even let you tackle me. When you put your head down and tackle me, I'd just stiff arm you into the water bottle over on the sideline, just throw you on over, like get on. You know what I'm saying? Or
I'll
if you
be
if you thought you was gonna really take a hit, then I would just run over you, just bulldoze over you. Yeah, it was like,
so when I told my sensei, like, I was thinking about going out for the football team. He goes, I think that's a good idea, Peter. I think you should, do other sports. He goes, but we're gonna cheat a little bit here. I looked at him like, what are you talking about, old man? I'm like, I don't want to be get kicked off of the field. I'm like, you're not gonna get kicked off the field. So the tackles you do, we're gonna put a little correct twist into it. So I can't explain how we did it. I can't have to show you kind of thing, like But when we tackled somebody, we put our hips into it, we twisted it a little bit, and people who are like double my size, I'm taking people off. I'm like, the coach is looking at him, how the fuck is this scrawny little shit taking people who are double and triple his size down? I'm like, magic, I used to tell him, and it used to piss him off so fucking bad, the coach.
mm-hmm.
But anybody he says, take him out. Okay, simple as that.
Yeah.
I'm like, people realize size is not everything sometimes either.
No, grooming. Look, it's funny that you mentioned that because that's one of my biggest phrases when I'm coaching guys. I got two white guys, man. These guys are small, right? And they twins. We still can't tell them apart. And the pants are too big. They got the smallest pants, and the pants are still too big for them, right?
Oh
But they
Jesus Christ!
but they want to learn the game.
There's nothing wrong with
And
it.
one of them can catch pretty good, and one of them can tackle pretty good. So of course, at first they just always and when I'm talking to players who never, I'm like, look, you gotta get over the fear, get over the contact. If you can get over the contact, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be good because now you're going off instinct instead of thinking. When you think in sports, that's when you get hurt. But just going off instinct. And man, the last couple of weeks in practice, man, let's say the last month, they've been playing hell of a football. One of them, I showed him how to kick extra point. He kicked extra points now. And again, it goes back to that support system. I'm only going to be in these kids' lives for a short period of time. But I always believe that in that short period of time, you're going to learn more about life than any other time dealing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with me. Now, do I expect anything? No. I expect for you to be a productive citizen as you become an adult. work hard, be a productive citizen. I don't come to see you in jail. I don't write you letters. I don't do none of that shit. But I may run into you at the supermarket with you and your family. And you can say, that bald headed man right there, he's the reason that we're living the way we're living. But
You see,
again,
I have few coaches, few teachers that impacted my life to the point like I still remember them to this day. And you're
mhm.
gonna always impact them no matter what. I have, it was a couple years ago. I was at the gym. I was in the locker room changing, and the guy comes up to me and goes, "I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?" He goes like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. What's up?" He goes, "Do you do martial arts?" Yeah. I'm like, the dragon give it away. Like, yeah, that's why I thought like, you don't remember me, do you? I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. No, I don't. It was a little scrawny little shit, like maybe this high. Now he's like, "God damn, you got big." And I'm looking at him like, no. I'm like, he tells me his name. I'm like, the name rings a bell, but I'm not connecting the face and the name now. And he tells me, "You're my sensei." I am? I was? And he told me who he was and his brother, like, "Holy shit, you had a growth spurt. What the fuck is your mother feeding you, ass?" And he goes to me, "I have not forgot one thing you taught me. Not the art moves that you're." I always had a little speech open in class, whatever my speech of the day was, you know. And he goes, "Every time I remember those speeches, I don't care about them. I don't remember most of the moves, but I remember those speeches." I'm like, getting a little sensitive here. Of like, it made me proud of that, actually. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, though. As long as you're doing what is righteous by others, then the result is what it's going to be. It's always, I believe, it's always going to be favorable. Just That's just the way I think about it. I don't ever leave out of house or go through my days believing it's not going to be better. I just accept it. And when people acknowledge you for what you put into them, that's all that matters to me.
I
That's all
totally
that
agree.
matters.
So, final thoughts. The floor is yours, buddy.
I mean, just even in the questions that you ask is the final thought, but just based on, let me go back. Never give up on yourself. Never, never give up on yourself. Life is a roller coaster and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're gonna have a feeling when you're going up the roller coaster. It's gonna seem slow, like, oh man, what's going on with the roller coaster? It's moving too slow. And then when you get to the top, you're just gonna zoom down at 100 miles an hour. That's how life is. Even in that zoom down hill, you better hold on tight because it may not be no brakes, and you may get thrown out. You may lose your safety net. But if it doesn't delete you, does it make you stronger? Will it make you stronger? Will you allow it to take advantage of you? So again, it just comes down to individuals, how you connect into the right people, places, and things as you get older. Like the comment said, self-talk, talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. And sometimes I answer back like, you know better than that. And it pays out, without going into detail. Had a great blessing come to me this week, you know, great news come to me this week. Just took it in stride. And when I shared it with my wife, that's all she's been talking about. Like, I can't believe, yeah, I can believe it because there's better things and greater things coming still. Greater things are coming still. And so anybody, wherever you are in life, when you go to sleep and wake up, you always got a better opportunity. If you're in a rut, just keep working through it. Find out where you can find the connection to where it got to that point. If you're in a low, connect to people who are in a high. Get out of the low. And if you don't know how to do it, just don't be afraid to ask questions because we all gonna make mistakes. And again, the roller coaster never stops. So again, man.
Yeah.
Growing man, you always have these conversations, man. Now I'm gonna take this and go give it
Oh,
back to the student, the athletes, man, and let them know they have no option but to be better. So
wait till next week's episode. I think you will definitely want to be on that one. And I don't want to talk to you after the show's over because I got an idea for you. But I'm going to end it with my saying. I always say, and I always will say it. We all fall down. But when you fall down the mountain, you can fall forward so you can see your mistakes. Because when you come back up the mountain, you're going to do it better and stronger this time.
yeah.
So accept that. Quick schedule update. This weekend, we are talking about Do You Know Your Animal Spirit in the Hangout on Saturday. And I'm not sure what we're talking about with Paul because we'll keep changing the subject. I got to talk to him about that. Next Thursday, right here at the Spartan Arena. You ready for this one, Trey?
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about, are you ready to be a father?
Dang. Okay.
You know I fire shots, bro. I don't just leave it easy.
Yeah, you ain't firing shots, man. You throwing you firing bazookas and cannons and
Next Saturday, we're gonna be talking the Legend of the Caribbean. We're talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean series. And 2 weeks from Thursday, on the 26th, we'll be talking. Did you have a childhood? That is very important thing to have that conversation. Am I still firing bazookas? You think?
yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Like I said, your conversations, you have to really tap into your and I'm just going to tie it to your topic because I've done exercises on your topic coming up. I've done exercises with groups of young men
Mm-hmm.
about the topic that you're talking about, right? And when I used to think about it, well, when we used to when they would give their example of their animal spirit, a lot of times, sometimes they would actually look like the animal that they chose. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sometimes
So
we look like it.
I'm really hoping you can join the next 2 Thursdays because I think you'll be a big asset in that. I
Yeah,
really do.
well, I know I can probably do it. It may be next Thursday because that's our final football game next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We play on Monday. Well, we'll play this Monday and and this
Thursday.
coming Monday and Thursday, and that'll be the end of the regular season. Then I don't know about the playoffs, but yeah, Thursday it may be a little later that I come on just because. But I'll be listening. I have my phone with me after
Okay.
my game is over. I go chill out, and I may be at the field coming in until I get home.
How you
Which
good, man? So, except that, as always, guys,